Guys, I'm gonna make a quick video to get up with the main chart program that I recommend using. And I was gonna make a video for Dad anyways, but since Mom mentioned the ETH or the BTC to ETH and how to watch it, I'll show you how to get a chart where you can watch anything, and then I could kind of tell you the main thing to look at for medium long term. It might seem a little professional at first, but it's going to be worth it, and I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. So we're going to be using TradingView, which is what everyone uses, and it's much nicer to use it on the PC, but you can open your account with both the app and the website on the computer. And so we'll just start with the app, even though it's a little more complicated. All I have is the app. So you're gonna download TradingView. You're gonna click open. You're gonna go ahead and sign in with your Google account or whatever, and then it'll take you to your watch list. And at the bottom left, you'll have a watch list and a chart. And so we're just gonna build a quick watch list. So you'll click the plus at the top right, and we're gonna start with, let's just say, Bitcoin. So type in BTC USD, Bitcoin to the US dollar. And it'll have a bunch of different sites where it gets the data from. And so we could just keep it simple and add the Coinbase one right here. So just click plus. And now we'll do XRP USD, Coinbase spot, click plus. And now we'll do BTC to ETH. And since not all sites have that exact pair swap, you could just click whatever the main one it recommends. So I'll just click this top one. All right, and we'll go back and we'll see this is our watch list now. We got Bitcoin, Ripple, and then the conversion from BTC to ETH. All right, and now we're gonna click chart at the bottom. Now this is gonna be the most daunting part to y'all, because there might be a lot of shit on your default chart. So we're just gonna clear that really quickly. They changed some of this, so I'm gonna roll with it. There'll be a little arrow under that Dogecoin. Oh wait. Okay. Why is this selected? So down here is kind of where you'll switch through your symbols. And so you'll just scroll through. We'll start with Bitcoin. At the top left, if you have a buy and sell button, just hold it down. It'll pop up with this, and you'll just want to deselect this show buy and sell button. Then there's a little arrow at this top left, and that'll show all the indicators that are on your screen. So you might have 3 of them. You're just going to tap each one of them and click the trash can. And we got another indicator down here. I'm just going to click it and then click the trash can. All right, and now we have a nice naked chart for Bitcoin. And so next to the symbol, you'll have all these time frames. I only want you guys to stick to the 4-hour one and higher. So 4 hour to 1 day to 1 month. So for example, let's do the 1 month. And you could just tap the numbers on the right side of the screen and it'll auto scale. And then, So with this 1 month, it shows what price is done just for that 1 month with these candlesticks. Now I know they look different, but just stick with it. Here's a brief rundown on what a candlestick is. So if I go to a 5-minute chart, a 5-minute chart means that each candle is 5 minutes a time. Let me get this freaking away. So right now, this candle just started 1 minute ago. Price started at the bottom and now is up there. And basically in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, this candle's going to end and it starts a new one. And the candles just tell you the highs and the lows of that time frame and where it opened and closed. So right now, price is higher than when it started when it opened. So now let's just go back to, we'll just do the 1-day chart. So this is what I would recommend just sticking with the most if you guys just want a quick view. So it's just going to show what Bitcoin has done. Each one of those candles represents 1 day. So as you can see, it's kind of just stayed in this consolidation area the past 10 days or so. And that's it. I would, if you guys ever want to look at charts, just go to the 4-hour, like this 4-hour chart alone. Like in this zoomed out view, you know, this is from the 6th of July on the very left to up here. And now for mom, here's Bitcoin to Ethereum. This is the 4-hour chart. And so if you just want to zoom out, you just go to a higher time frame, like the 1 week, which, you know, this represents all of 2015, as you could see on the bottom part. But I would just stick with the 4-hour of the day. And it'll show you kind of what it's been doing. You could play with it, zoom in, zoom out. And, okay. The only thing I would recommend adding is a moving average. And it'll kind of help you just easily see in a glance what things are doing quickly. So let's see here. We're going to click this little option looking button next to this draw button at the bottom right. And then you're going to click on indicators. And now we're going to search, or just go to technicals, and we're going to scroll down. This is going to be the only time you do this. And so like, just roll with me. So we're going to click on moving average exponential. And it said it added. So we'll go back to our chart. We have a little moving average here. And now we're going to click that indicator button, EMA, emotional exponential moving average. And we're going to click the little gear button. And then input. And we're going to change it to 20. And then I like to go to style. I like to make mine red and a little beefy of a line. Guys, this is all you need to look at to kind of see how things are going. You just open, like once you do this setup, you'll never have to do it again. So if you want to know what Bitcoin's doing and how it's acting, you just pull up Bitcoin, scroll down to it, scroll to the 1 day. And as you can see, whenever price or the candles are bouncing on the moving average, it usually ends up going up. And a lot of times, if it breaks under and then bounces off of it again, it'll go down. So I know this is probably a lot in whatever amount of time this is, but like, boom, I could just open this up today and I know, all right, Bitcoin's kind of around the same area it was the last 9 days, but it's still bullish because it's sitting on its moving average. You can mess with different time frames. We could go down to a shorter time frame like this 4-hour, and you just get a more zoomed in look at like that consolidation going on. But the longer time frames are your friend. So I would stick to the 1 day, and here's the 1 week. So the more zoomed out you get, the more accurate of a long-term view you're getting. Like right here. So we're on the month chart now. So each one of those candles is 1 month at a time. here's back in 2021, made its little M. You know, that's around when you guys first took profit, right? End of 2020, 2021. It's made its M. It broke under the moving average for a while. But ever since here, middle of 2023, it broke above and then went up. It went down, it retested, and it bounced off of it. It went up. And then just 5 months ago, it went down, bounced off of it. It's now going up. So I would just stick with the 1 day chart. If you get into it and if you want to look at smaller time frames and see what it's doing just today, you could zoom in and stuff. Or you could go to the lower time frames and play around, but just stick with the 1 day and 1 week. And it'll tell you the trend. And I could switch to Doge. Here's the daily candles. As you can see, it's gone up a lot, and now it's retesting that moving average, and bulls are looking for a bounce off of that, and they're already picking up price. It already went down there and touched it, and people have already started buying. And so it looks pretty damn bullish to me, and this is a good possible dip buy. And then you can add anything you want to watch, any stocks, if you want to watch the Dow, anything. And so here's Bitcoin to Ethereum. As you can see, it's gone down because Ethereum's price is catching up to Bitcoin's. And so Bitcoin is now only 32 times the price of Ethereum, and which is down, like 20%. I don't care too much about the analytics of the Bitcoin dominance and stuff, but you guys are on a roll with everything you're diving into, and just keep rolling. So that's it. Yes, it'll take 7 minutes to set up, and then you'll never have to touch it again. And then you go to your watch list and click add, and you can add the Dow, you can add HBAR, and you'll want to for like the cryptos, you'll want to find like HBAR to USD instead of like this one shows its market cap. And so you want to just stick with like the Coinbase spot cryptos, HBAR USD, and XLM is Stellar. So you go, and it's one of my favorites, add it, go to your chart, and you scroll through XLM, boom, look at this fucking rise, where on July 4th, it was 23 cents. And it doubled. It went to 51 cents. Went down. It just touched that moving average today and is bouncing. Buyers are picking it up. We'll see if it continues. But, just like Doge. Here's the Dow. The Dow. Or wait. The Dow is different. The symbol for Dow is US 30. But I accidentally added the wrong one. And then, so if I want to remove this Dow, hold it down, remove. And now I'll view the correct one. And you can see it's at its all-time high today. And zoom out, I could go to the 1 month chart. And this is how crazy like this moving average is. This has been since 2013 on the very left, and it's just been bouncing. In 2020 during COVID, it had that big dip. It broke below that moving average here. and it went back up to retest it, and it did not bounce off of it down. If it bounced down right here, it would have been permission for people to take it back to 17K and lower. But instead, it broke back above and bounced. And that's all you guys need to know to determine what things are doing long term, or if things are looking bullish or not. So for Bitcoin, things are going to go up if it stays above the moving average. If it stays below, buyers or bears will have a chance to see if they can keep it below. But in this case, it made its little m back in the day, went down a little bit, but then buyers snagged it back up, started bouncing, and it went from 100 to 120. The toughest part of this is just getting it set up. But now, instead of going to like Coin Market Cap or something, which you could still do if you want a quick like, are things green for the day or not, but now you could get a more long-term view, and you can peep any crypto super quickly now that you hear about on YouTube or whatever. And it's just, it's instead of just looking at the plus 2% and minus 5% every day to determine how things are doing, or refreshing your portfolio balance, you can just open up this really quick, make sure it's on one of these high time frames, like the daily candles, get a nice zoom out, and you will get a full-on view instead of just a shallow intraday snapshot price. This also makes dips way less scary. Right now, yesterday Ripple was at 350, and it dipped. It went down to $3. That's freaky if you're just looking at Coin Market Cap and you see minus 7%. You're like, shit, and you see people on Twitter and they're panicking. This is the 10,000 foot view. And I'm being and this is extremely healthy what Ripple did. And buyers are stoked to pick it up right here off that moving average, just like what we saw. Same exact thing with Doge, same exact thing with HBAR. And we'll see if it stays above and continues bouncing these next couple of days. And if so, bullish sign if it stays above, bearish sign if it stays below. That's all you guys need to know. Bitcoin, 4 hour, just trying to make a decision, but just stick with the long term. And yes, the only thing I would look for personally, and now you guys can too, is if there's a possible bear sign, or if y'all are thinking about profiting at a nice high and taking out a little, is I would just say, if it breaks below, this moving average, which it hasn't since the 23rd of June. If it breaks below, that would be a nice little green flag to take some profit if you were looking to. But I would say, if it's above, maybe just see if it keeps going up a little more before taking profit. So on and so forth. If it's above it, it's bullish. If it's trying to break below, we're gonna see how strong the bears are, and if it stays below for more than a couple days or not. So, yes, this is probably a little confusing. The most confusing part's those first 7 minutes, clearing the chart. And yeah, you could customize you could customize your chart and, you know, change the colors and stuff. I love a black background, for example. And yeah, just TradingView. Long-term candles, long-term charts. This will tell you what's actually going on instead of just the intraday movements. All right. Love you guys.